All right, welcome in, Steamer Nation. So, first and foremost, want to say to the students here that miss you guys, love you guys. Hopefully, you're having a safe and healthy time right now, and it's definitely weird. It's been weird. I've been coming to the building and not hearing any students is this is something I don't like. So, been thinking about you guys. Hopefully, you're staying safe, healthy, and everything's going well. So, our remote learning here at the high school is going to be starting on the 31st, and I did want to provide some guidance as to the documents that I had sent out. So, I'm going to go ahead and start presenting on those and talking about what we expect with our students. So, first one that I sent out here is this remote learning update. And this is something that I wanted to send out specifically to the high school as far as these remote learning guidelines. So we are advancing in our curriculum, but that advancement in your different classes is going to be slow and steady. So again, we're not trying to replicate a normal instructional day. We are just trying to advance in the curriculum at a pace that is appropriate, especially given the time that this isn't like our e-learning that we've done before in the past, where after we get done with the day, the next day we're in school. That's not happening. This is multiple days in a row. So we need to be able to kind of adjust to that. So we don't want to overwhelm students. We just want to be able to meet with you guys and provide a platform in order for you to meet with your teachers and still advance in the curriculum and get some learning done. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to move down here to our grading and instruction. Like I stated, our remote learning or e-learning is going to start on March 31st, which is our B day. Students, you need to be checking your Canvas and your emails daily. All students will have the opportunity to redo, make up, or try again to complete, show progress, or attempt to complete work assigned prior to the remote learning period. Again, our focus is keeping children emotionally and physically safe, fed, engaged in learning. So there was a form that was sent out about food during this time. So breakfast and lunch, if you still need those things, please fill out the form. And since we are continuing with our e-learning activities and our remote learning activities, if students do not complete it, they will be issued an incomplete. And then once we get back to on-site instruction, then those incomplete grades will be addressed at that time. So students, we want you to take this seriously. We want to be able to get some work done. So please be checking Canvas and getting your work done. Again, once we come back to on-site, we'll deal with any of the incompletes that we need to. Some other information that I wanted to send out as far as some high school updates and specific high school updates. SAT and standardized testing. So this is something that the state announced and that I want to bring to your guys' attention, and that would be that the SAT and the standardized testing for the spring has been suspended, meaning that it's not going to be offered in the spring. We're not going to have our testing date on April 14th. The Illinois State Board of Education and the College Board is working together to find some type of solution to have a different day for the SAT. And once we get that information, we'll be sending it out. The other thing I want to bring to mind is, again, needing materials. So if students, you need something, if you forgot your Chromebook charger, if you forgot your Chromebook, or you need a book for class, our building is open 8 to 12 every day that we're open. Students, you can come to the school. You will be allowed to enter kind of the first set of doors, and then we'll meet you there. We'll ask you what you need, and then we'll go get it for you. So call ahead, make sure that we have people available, or there's not too many people here. And then once you get here, we'll go ahead and get that material for you. One question that I've gotten a few times and we haven't been able to really give any answer because there isn't an answer yet would be graduation and prom. So no decision has been made on either event. We're closely monitoring this and waiting on state guidance. It's a conversation that's kind of started and that, hey, we need to be looking at this, but at the same time, our vision's kind of right now in the first couple weeks here as we get this started off the ground. We will be waiting for guidance from the state as far as what happens with graduation, prom, and some of these other events. So again, we'll keep you posted once we get information. We also want to say scholarships. Scholarships are still being completed. So students, if you are submitting scholarships, you can still fill those out. the scholarship page on the district website has additional information. I've linked it here on the spreadsheet so you guys can jump right there to get to that scholarship page. And again, if your scholarships are being delivered to the high school, please email them to Miss Greiser. So jgreiser at riverbendschools.net, and we can take care of those for you. Partly as well as registration. So Mr. Bazin is working on registration during this time. If you have not turned in your teacher recommendation form, please email the picture of the form to Mr. Bazin so he can be working on that as well. Again, we're trying to keep as much of this flowing as we can during this time, even though it's a little bit difficult. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to our calendar. And with this remote learning calendar, this is something that we put out to staff as a general guideline and template. So you're going to see every Tuesday and Thursday is going to be B days. And every Wednesday, Fridays are going to be A days. And then you're going to see here 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1. This is kind of where we have everything kind of blocked off. Reason that we are doing this is that we didn't want necessarily, we'll say like history. If history is doing a presentation and science is also doing a presentation, we don't want those teachers kind of competing for that time of the students. So what we did is that if your first block class is on a B day, if a teacher wanted to do a presentation or a demonstration, they can use this time. So if it's a 1B, they can use from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock to have that presentation, so that students aren't necessarily having to try and find a place to or choose between classes and presentations. Again, the other thing I'll say about this is that this does not have to be your work. Student work does not have to be completed between 9 to 10 o'clock for 1B. This can be completed outside of those hours. We know that there's students that you're trying to help with siblings and getting their e-learning done, and there's some other times that and other factors that are in play during this time. So if you need to do this work at a different time, that's perfectly fine. This is just a general guideline of when teachers can schedule those presentations. You're going to notice on Mondays that there isn't an A or B day associated with that, and that's just because it's just a support day. So anything that students need help with, if they've received some information, they got some feedback, and they want that time, they can email teachers during this day, during Monday, to get that support. So again, teachers will be available by email and Google Meet. They just don't have necessarily a specific time that they have to meet or be on. So you just need to send them an email. So kind of looking down here, again, looking at kind of a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks in advance here. These are the days that are going to be following. So tomorrow, March 31st, is a B day, then an A, B, and then A. And then Monday the 6th, there isn't going to be a specific A or B day, just kind of finish up anything that you have from the week before. And then you're going to notice on the 7th, 8th, and 9th, B, A, and B. And then on the 10th, there's no school. That's Good Friday. We are still not having school or remote learning on that day. The 13th, that will be another support day. We will be making that day up. That's for March 16th, that Monday that we had taken as an emergency day. We are making up that day this time. And then what you notice is that April 14th is now a B day. Well, the one thing that that students will notice and parents you'll notice as well is that we have a B day on the 9th and a B day on the 14th. The reason why we kept it this way is just to be consistent, so that every week students know Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every Tuesday, Thursday is B days, every Wednesday, Friday is an A day. This is not trying to replicate a normal school schedule as where we just keep going B, A, and then transition back to the A days, because then we would have to change our templates and everything. We're just trying to be consistent and saying that every Tuesday, Thursday is B days, every Wednesday, Friday is an A day. Yep, we know that there's no school on Friday the 10th. However, we're not going to change our schedule all around for that. I'd advise teachers that on the B day, if they're trying to keep consistent schedules between A and B day classes, then make that B day another review type of day with the material that they've had from before. And just go from there. Again, not trying to make it so that it's overwhelming for students. We're trying to use this time as appropriately as possible. What I'll say right now is that at the time of this completion, our school closure that we know of is through April 7th. So we have not received any guidance from the state as to whether that is going to extend or not. If it does, we'll follow the schedule. If we're back in session on the 8th, then obviously we will just the schedule for the rest of this time will kind of be scrapped. But again, if the closure does get extended through April 7th, we wanted to be prepared and be able to put something out here. So Again, if there's any questions, please give me a call at the high school or send me an email and we'll go from there. But if there is anything that we can help you with, if you need materials, please contact us. We'll get it for you. Stay safe, stay healthy, Steamer Nation. Love you guys, miss you, and hopefully we see you soon.